Okay, well, we're here. Let's get started.
Right.
Who wants to recap last game?
I think Tick Tick did some really heroic stuff, like saved the group numerous times, unearthed the key plot point that set us forward onto cosmic horror, and really blowing this case wide open, and then was valiant in his escape.
Yes, and we had a sparring session on the ship that established Tick Tick's credentials as an okay guy, and
Definitely.
and then ran into all kinds of woodland nastiness inside the
In
spaceport,
space,
which
so weird.
which really the first combat encounter was nearly fatal.
Yeah, I was like, is Eric mad at us? This thing has 600 hit points. What's happened?
And then went searching through the starport, found
Valiantly.
all kinds of fun. Yes, valiantly, and with great foresight and strategy.
Indeed.
And in the captain's quarters, found various bits of useful information about the ship that headed off towards the Clockwork Horrors, and found a ring which Rumil put on and allowed us to ask a whole bunch of questions until the ring decided that Rumil was absolutely no good. And
that reminds me, I need to retcon something.
Yeah.
Because I got so frightened when the ring ghost showed up. Because I had no idea what was going on. The scenario was so GD weird that I forgot to steal clothing because I'm still dressed like a dirty peasant.
Oh, yeah. You wanted to steal some of the captain's uniforms?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Sweet.
Easily done.
Thank you.
And I forgot that that the requisition item for the translator did not have the name that I told you. It was not. It was JOU5T was the item that was the translator for this mission.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. So we also had a really awesome run/combat sequence that was fun, and
we fought the Clockwork Men,
the wooden men.
Golems. Yeah, the wood golems.
Yeah, the wood golems.
So and also a mechanical thing. I did a little more reading on like that prone thing. So apparently you can shove at any time, but it's a strength check versus strength or dexterity. So it's the same rolls as starting a grapple. It's just doing a different thing. So it was extremely useful, and I just wanted to make sure that I knew the rules correctly before I tried it in a game. And somebody like Sam's like, "Well, no," because that would be embarrassing.
Okay. So some more catch-up things. The stone, through some experimentation over the next few days, you were able to figure out that this stone helps to heal you, Tick Tick, once you have taken damage. It's an ion stone of regeneration, 3 hit points per round.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to facilitate all kinds of bad decisions. Oh, does it take time? Like to
yeah, you have to attune it over an hour, so you can't use it like for healing other people in game, basically, or in combat.
Yeah, so maybe it would only shorten rests.
Right, and help. Yeah, during a battle for sure.
In a big way. Geez, that's like DR3.
Yeah,
but it's attuned to Tick Tick now, so it's ready to go. Awesome.
Yep. And Rumil has played with this ring a little bit more, and he's discovered that it seems to store spells. So he has put Ray of Sickness into it for future use.
That's a good spell.
Oh.
Okay, and so you had the coordinates for where that other expedition went into the Omnian Swarm territory. I can't remember if I mentioned, it looks like their destination is actually either a large moon or a small planet in the swarm, which also doesn't make a lot of sense to you, Thalen, because it should have been devoured by the horrors
Mm-hmm.
centuries ago.
So
Yeah,
we've got two things that should not have happened, like the spaceport being abandoned that quickly and with no real documentation about why, and then the Clockwork
Yeah.
Horrors not destroying something.
Is this like a low-key diplomatic effort? You know, like they want plausible deniability, so they're putting it in some out-of-the-way place? Or is there some kind of like big power play going on amongst like the bureaucrats and the high-level movers and shakers?
Could do, and I don't know how discriminating the Clockwork Horrors are, and so
Yeah.
there may be something on that moon / planet that repels them, or that or
Yeah.
that's really scary, and they don't want to bother with.
Huh. Oh, I had another insight. When you put on the spell helm to like do the flying of the ship, that it's connected to the ship. So like where or how do you delineate like what is the helmet and what is the ship? So actually you're not wearing the helmet. You're
Wearing the ship.
You're putting the ship on your face. Yeah.
That's terrifying. It works for me.
Do with that what you will.
Ah, yes.
But I think it really helps to recontextualize the whole situation here.
And in the in sort of the null time between ending and now, were we able to scrounge up some more food to make travel?
Yeah, so that's actually a little bit of a problem. So so Tic said he had some rations. So you guys did a little bit of an inventory of things, and it looked like you were maybe going to be able to scrape by. But as you go another couple of days, you're kind of rifling through the rations again, and you discover two things. One is you actually don't have enough water, which is one of the major limiting factors, and then it looks like something got into your rations, and after some investigation, Rumil admits to snacking.
Son of a bitch.
Ah.
So, so you guys are in fact in need of some groceries, and you have kind of traveled around the edge of where you think the Omnian Swarm has kind of ravaged space, and you found a small moon that is covered in lush jungle that you think might be a reasonable place to replenish. As you're cruising around this moon, your scanners do pick up a couple of spots of civilization in the form of like small villages. Nothing like city sized, but a few small villages where you know there's no like elven presence out here, Thalen. So you don't know what these things could be.
Okay. Oh.
Any kind of spell jamming? Is there any way we could hail them?
You can absolutely try sending communication missives. You don't get any response.
Okay.
There's no orbital docking stations or anything like that.
Weird. Wait, do we have any currency?
You have a little bit of coin.
I have 10 gold pieces.
I think Rumil has 10 as well.
Oh.
So definitely enough to stock up with foodstuffs, not enough to do any serious bartering.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So you guys have identified this small moon. How do you want to go about trying to get some provisions here?
I think we should split up where Fallon and I go to the market and Rumil fucks off. That's what I think we should do.
He should stand guard on the ship and try not to get into any trouble.
That one.
Yeah, Rubil can totally stand guard. That sounds within his skill set.
So I figure we set down on the flattest bunch of land we can find. That's
Okay.
That's a hopefully less than a brisk walk to the village, and far enough that we can head off if they think we're like an invading god or something like that and come after us with spears.
Okay.
Oh, that would be weird.
Yeah, so you guys kind of fly over one of these villages. It looks like it's within a forest, and it looks like the dwellings are built up within the trees, which is pretty typical of elven dwellings, actually. So so it could be some elves. And as you're flying over, you see a bunch of these humanoid creatures kind of coming out of the trees towards the clearing. They're not brandishing sticks. Some of them do have some spears, but you land and head on out, and you see there's probably about 30 of these creatures, and actually they look a lot like short, stocky elves. They've got the long pointed ears, the kind of the long fine features. They've also, most of them have some paint on their faces. The spears that they're brandishing look pretty simplistic. They looks like they have stone or flint spearheads. You don't see any evidence of metal work anywhere here, as you're kind of standing on top of the ship looking down at these creatures.
All right.
Darrow?
No, they look like some kind of elven spin-off. Go ahead and give me a insight or history check.
Oh yeah, 13.
Okay.
Starting with the double digits. Cool.
Yeah, Tick. You think there's some kind of elven race of some kind, but you don't know what exactly.
Okay. Well, maybe they're going to eat us, or maybe we'll get to explain to them what currency is.
All right. So I'm going to call out an elvish greeting.
Okay.
Just general friendliness and goodwill.
Okay. They kind of look up at you, and they, like, as you speak, they all take like a cumulative step back, and their eyes go wide. A few of them confer, and then one of them steps forward. He's got some white face paint on, and he kind of looks up at you a little bit unsure, and he replies in kind. He says, "Hello."
Oh, wow.
Well, hello. We are weary travelers, and we are looking to trade for some food.
You big gods? Food?
Yeah, gods eat food. Yep. Right.
Yes, we'll be gone very soon, but an offering of food would be most appreciated, and then we will bless you with 10 years of excellent harvests.
Okay. This elf kind of is watching Tick Tick, like miming the food gesture, and is like kind of slowly getting it. He confers with a few of the other little wild elves, and then comes back and says, "Big gods, help! kill animal. Big
Oh,
God's here. Help
Yeah,
us.
yeah, we'll happily eat animal. Yeah.
yes. What animal?
He gestures for you to come down off the ship.
All right, let's come down off the ship, I guess.
He sketches something in the sand here. Let's see if I can pull it up. There we go.
Oh.
He's using a stick to sketch it in the sand. He points at you, say, "You kill big animal.
Huh.
Help. God, kill big animal."
All right.
Ooh.
Do
got
we
Sorry.
do we recognize that big animal?
Yeah,
Besides fucking dinosaur.
give me a nature check.
Flat 10.
Big 3.
Yeah, some kind of big lizard like thing. It doesn't look like a dragon, which is a plus.
All right. Excellent.
Okay, so clearly this thing vexes the entire village and presents an existential threat to their very way of life. So we're going to need a lot of food.
Much food.
Much food.
Kill big animal.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get Rumil real fast because we're probably going to need some extra firepower.
Okay.
Hey, we've got a big lizard thing to kill.
Okay.
As per
Rumil
usual.
gives you a big thumbs up. He's like, "Great."
All right. And
the villagers welcome you. They all kind of crowd around you, like kids are reaching out and touching you, like, "Ooh, God." You guys get the feeling that these elves understand probably like one word in 3 that you're saying, and only like really common words. So kind of think back to like second year Spanish in high school.
Oh.
And that's what you're picking up from these guys.
We should probably figure out Rumil. Maybe we have some other languages that we are both conversant in.
Yeah.
Perhaps, and then we won't confuse our new parishioners.
Oh. Rumil picks up on your suggestion. He does speak common.
So maybe we'll check to see if they also speak common.
Yeah, they don't seem to understand when you speak at them in common.
Oh.
Except there may be like a handful of words like mother, father, really God, like really universal principles that they get, but not enough to understand.
That might come in really handy. Because we're going to need some help if we're going to get through this extraordinarily weird situation where we are seen as gods. Okay, so
yeah, Rumil's digging it. He's like,
right.
he's like the life of the party. Everyone's loving him. He's
Right.
like flirting with the lady elves.
Right.
Like there are going to be some Rumil spawn probably off of this little god visit for sure.
This is why I wanted to bring that up, because like how could this not go right to Rumil's head?
Yeah,
being
this is
seen
amazing.
as a god king.
Right. Right. Yeah, he's totally down with this.
Rumil, you're gonna catch something, and then your dick is gonna fall off.
Give me either persuasion or intimidation on that.
I'm gonna go with intimidation.
Okay.
Big 6.
Okay. The balance on that for Rumil is not. He's like, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
all right.
So you might have missed the Rumil is digging, being treated like a god. He is like grabbing him some ladies and is just like he's totally into this. Like this is what he was born to do.
Oh man, that is not useful.
And we need him to fly the ship, right? I'm just saying, you know,
Oh yeah. Well,
because he's in his bliss right here, and we're not going to be able to move forward until he's got his nut, or he passes out.
well, I'm Big Brother. I could probably shake him one. Let's
You might catch it.
intimidate Rumil a bit, and
Yeah.
uh,
Tick Tick tried this and was not very impressive. So go ahead and roll intimidation with disadvantage. Rumil's.
All right. That's 16.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you might be able to convince him eventually, but at this point, he's pretty excited about being treated like a god. So you guys, the leader of the village introduces himself as Peless. You get his name eventually. They find some little tree dwellings for you to kind of crash in. It basically turns the resources of the village over to you all in exchange for dealing with their animal problem. And over some discussion, you get the impression that they have about a dozen warriors in the tribes that are willing to help to defeat the giant animal. They've tried in the past and have several of them have died. And so you're clearly you're answering their prayers. You have come to deliver them from this giant animal.
Well, we'll happily take some warriors.
Yeah. Can we get any background information about our targets' vulnerabilities and resistances and hide?
Resistant to stabbing with spears for sure. Seems to be their experience. Actually, the real problem is the damage output of this thing is just tremendous. So like if it bites a warrior, it kills them. That's the real problem. Like they could eventually wear it down, but it just would kill so many of them in the meantime.
Maybe stamina. What about this? What if we concoct some kind of irritant, and then we put that irritant like on some cattle, or perhaps a wild animal that this thing could track, and then it can consume that, and then it can fail its save, and then we can use our science and kill it.
Yeah, that's plausible. They have some things that you might be able to mix together to make some kind of poison. I don't think anybody has proficiency with an alchemist kit. So this is going to be pretty challenging for you to muddle together.
Is there any chance of strafing it with the ship's weapons?
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Wait,
as a
what?
general rule, the ship's weapons are not effective anti-personnel. But you don't know. You get the impression this thing is pretty big, so it's possible if it's big enough that you could hit it with the ship's weapons. But you know what? Now that you think about it, Thalen, you are not sure about the ship's capabilities. Like you haven't like inventoried what its capabilities are.
Wait, what? That was a real roller coaster there, Eric. That was unfair. I was like, why are we talking about bait? Like we have ship weapons? Like let's just do the god thing and then just strafe the savannah and then get the hell out of here. Like, but it turns out no.
Well, let's see if it turns out no. So I'm going to take a quick just look through the ship and see if I see weapon systems that look in decent order.
Yeah, give me an intelligence check.
All right. All right, so that's 17.
Oh, nice. Okay. No, so this ship was mostly decommissioned, so it has no weapon systems, no shields even. it has the communications, it has the sensors, and it has the spell jamming helm, obviously. But it's very much a sitting duck as far as ship to ship battle.
Okay.
What about natural hazards? Perhaps there's a rocky gorge or a morass of despair. Or
yeah, they could conjure you some rocky gorge for sure. There's some cliffs around and about. They've tried. I mean, they have experience driving like prey animals off of the cliffs. Like you know, they describe these big four-legged hairy creatures that they'll do that to. But this thing they've tried to drive in that same way, and it just bites them in half.
I wonder if we could, so the kind of weapons they have, does it look like we could set them to make like the equivalent of punji stakes or anything like that, so we could
yeah, for sure,
like draw the thing to a pit and have it fall into a spiky pit?
Yeah, that seems like something that they could work on, digging a pit and filling it with sharp sticks. That's new technology for them.
We could rightly irritate it, and seems like this, or there is something Rumil can do that will piss it off 100% and have it chase after us. Are there any kind of like animals that we can ride so that
they haven't domesticated anything?
Okay.
So you could try to capture a riding animal and see what happens.
That sounds like a one-way trip to just chasing our tails.
I don't know if we want to teach them animal husbandry in our free time.
So with the ship, is there any chance of like a low buzz of the ship, and Rumil could now is there an observation deck like there are on some of the, so Rumil could plausibly, if we get in close enough to that 120 foot, could zap it with magic missile or something, and
or scorching ray,
and scorching ray, something to piss it off, and then we stay low and we move it into the kill zone.
Seems like it's plausible.
Hey, does the ship do like vectored flight? Like, can you hold the ship's like at an angle relative to its velocity? Because couldn't we use like the afterburners or something to like cook this fucking thing?
It sadly does not have any engines per se, so there's no output of energy from it. And none of you know how to do that. That's technically within the capabilities of the ship, but you guys, if you manage to, it would be blind luck.
Oh. Okay. So, Thalen, I think the problem with our plans so far is that they're not complex enough.
Excellent. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So what if we do the spiky pit thing, and then we put a cover over it so that we could run a stampede of tribe members over it. This thing falls into it, gets super angry, and hopefully drugged. And then we send in the second wave to flank it and stab it. And we do this next to the cliff so that when that fails, our tribe members can leap off the cliff using ropes and then hang there and then save themselves from imminent destruction.
Very plausible.
Yeah. How do we have we confirmed the size of this thing?
No, you guys
Maybe-
Yeah,
have not.
let's.
Yeah, you have not laid eyes on this thing, so you're not sure what it is exactly that you're facing.
Let's scout it out
Yeah, because
first.
maybe when it's in the pit, you know, getting real angry, we could just land the ship on it. Right? It's a big ship. And
Yeah,
that seems
It's big enough to squish something.
yeah, that seems a super convoluted plan, and that's bound to work.
Okay, how are you guys gonna scout this thing out?
We're gonna take a couple of the village warriors to just sort of sneak us to a vantage point and
Yeah.
and just have a look. So I think we should be able to be far away, not to draw its attention, but close enough to be like, okay, this is what this thing is.
Okay. Yeah, they can get you pretty close, and then Tic I think has survival, so Tic could probably facilitate that as well. So why don't you give me a roll on your survival with advantage, Tic.
All right. Yeah, this is going to be great right here. Not that one though. Nope, it had to be the first one. That's a 17.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so the villagers lead you in a general direction. Tic picks up some footprints. They look like they're three-toed, fairly large creature. And Tic, you find a vantage point which you think is relatively safe. Like there's kind of a rocky drop off on one side, so you know, nothing can come only come from you from one direction. And you camp out there for about a few hours one afternoon, and eventually see this creature stomping through the jungle that looks something like this. Tiny little forearms, huge muscular legs, teeth about like the length of a forearm. And you immediately see the problem that Pelesse was describing. Like if this thing gets its teeth on you, it's going to bite you in half.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Thalen, maybe there's another planet that has food. Because I don't know what that thing is, but yeah. It's yeah. You see the problem, Thalen?
Oh yes, I see it. I see it. The other problem I see is that this is the only planet that we have seen in many a day. That's correct, many a day. And
Yeah, you've been like flying all over just kind of randomly because you don't know what's out here to try to encounter something. You've come across a handful of like asteroids that are basically, you know, lifeless and dead. And this is the only thing that you've encountered that had any like forms of life on it.
Okay. Maybe we go back to convoluted plan where oh shit, they don't have animal husbandry. Okay, so we don't have any domesticated animals.
You think Tic, with your survival, you think that you can direct the villagers to help you trap some of the jungle creatures out here that this thing must eat. I mean, you realize with the size of this thing that it's got to get some calories somehow. So there's got to be stuff out here that it eats.
Because what I'm thinking is this thing is every bit as dumb as it is big. Because it's all mouth. So why don't we like get some bait, like another animal or something, and then we'll truss it, you know, and then we'll find a way to hurl it at speed over the cliff. So this thing gets hungry and like chomps on it and then loses its balance and falls down the cliff. And then, yeah. And then while we're doing that, we'll figure out some sort of medicinal poultice to cure whatever sexually transmitted disease that Rumil's going to have. And then we get the fuck out of here.
Why don't you guys both give me an insight check?
All right.
Oh yeah, big 3.
18.
Yeah.
Thalen, you don't know too much about animals. Like that's not really your forte. But looking at the size of this thing, like you imagine this thing probably gets up to speed pretty quickly, but you think it probably doesn't corner worth a damn.
Sure. So
Yeah.
maybe we can bait it towards running at us towards a cliff,
Right.
and then just book it as it's coming, and it will have too much momentum and will fling itself off the cliff.
What if we teach the villagers the glories of base jumping? You know what I mean? And so we can just launch like warrior after warrior over the cliff, and this thing is bound to be like, oh, what the hell's down there? And then we're gods and we're out and hooked up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we can potentially, if we tether the bait person and
all the bait people
might go over the edge trying, because my guess is that it's going to want whatever small stuff it can scoop up.
Right. That's why everybody jumps.
Yes. Everybody jumps.
Right. Because gods demand sacrifices. Okay. Great abundance requires great sacrifice. And so I think the whole village has got to go and just, you know what I mean? And then if that thing doesn't chase after an entire village, nothing's going to work. Right. And if that doesn't work, the entire village is dead. And we can just get the food and get out of here. I'm going jungle mad. Okay. I do not understand what is happening in my life.
So let's definitely
kill everyone here.
Let's definitely try to take advantage of this inability to corner.
Yeah, exactly. There will be no record of this anywhere.
Well, I doubt they know how to write. I'm surprised they know how to speak.
They don't know how to tell animals to fuck. Okay? Like, they don't. Right. What is happening in my life?
To be fair, I don't know about that, or I don't know how to do that either. I know it's a thing you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, you're at the level where you are piloting a spaceship. So the animal husbandry bit that we mastered like 8,000 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Now, okay, so the piloting a spaceship. We can potentially get the thing to chase the spaceship if we buzz low enough, and then we just keep going off of, or we pull to the cliff and we're just past it, and so it runs to take a chunk out of us with Rumel shooting magic missiles and annoying things at it, and then
it sounds like you want to leverage our only means of escape.
Well, we'll still be on the ship.
Right.
If this messes up and it decides not to jump over the edge, then worst comes to worst, we can peace out of here.
Okay, so before we do that, we're going to have to figure out a way to get provisions loaded.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably not going to work.
Yeah,
otherwise we're just going to be hungry.
They're very much like kill animal first, get sacrifices second.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to do something before the big dinosaur just shows up in the village.
Yeah.
Which is a non-zero.
I think we get all the grass skirt wearing semi-naked women making ropes. We'll teach them how to make rope. That's a huge plus. Okay. Gods must be crazy. Okay. And then all the warriors antagonize this thing. We run, a flanked assault. We get this thing really mad, and then everybody over the edge. They swing free. Da, 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 this thing. Rah, maybe we even put a couple of bait animals there, to really, really just sell it. And this thing, doop.
How fast did the village's warriors look?
They're pretty spry. They're really not any faster than you guys though.
But they probably, so if we irritate the thing enough to chase towards
Tick Tick is definitely faster than them. Sorry. Yeah, if you irritate it enough.
So basically all they have to do is move laterally. If it can't corner or turn, and the dash is sufficient enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pelesse tells you that in their encounters with this thing before trying to kill it, it can chase anything down. Basically, it's extremely speedy on the straightaway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, is there like a stand of trees near a cliff? Maybe we could get it.
There's I mean, it's basically jungle, so there's dense trees kind of everywhere, and then they don't go like right up to the cliff. There's probably about a 20
Right.
30 foot clearing.
So what I'm thinking is hard sell sacrificing the entire village. So if we can find a strip of land that is fallow or cut low near a stand of trees, we could set up in the trees, draw the thing into it where it's not as fast, and everybody can successively, they can use a measured approach, a defensive approach, and fall back and fall back and fall back to get this thing. And then we'll use our bait in the clearing on the edge of the cliff, or maybe off the cliff. Like maybe we'll just hang something, off like a gallows or something. So it's over the perimeter of the cliff. This thing, real mad, stuck in the trees. It breaks for the easy prey over the cliff. Maybe we only kill a couple of tribespeople.
Does Rumil have any illusion?
He has minor illusion.
Okay. So then that last bit of your plan,
Where
we
kill
could,
everybody?
well, before that,
Oh, yeah.
when it's chasing after that last bit of bait, if that could be the illusion of Rumil, who will have shot at it and just have it run towards it. Of course, nothing's there, so it'll barrel right through.
Yep. It's not bad.
So give me a nature check, both of you.
Oh yeah, I'm really good at that.
All right, 15.
Oh, 12.
Huh. So you think that with a predator, you're either going to want it to be angry or hungry. Like changing it from chasing after things that are pissing it off to, oh, now I'm hungry and I want to have a snack is kind of not how it does things. So you kind of need to choose one tact or the other. Either it's chasing because it's angry, or it's chasing because it wants food and the food is moving.
I think angry is something we'll definitely be able to do. The food moving part will be complicated.
Yeah. How does Rumil's illusion power work?
Yeah, not very well. You can create a sound or a vision that's no larger than a 5-foot cube.
Sound or vision. And this thing, the mouth creature, do we know anecdotally if it's responsive to more responsive or most responsive to like visual stimuli or smells, or you know what I mean? In
Yeah,
the
I know what you
villager's
mean. I don't
history.
know if Peless is that sophisticated with his knowledge. Let's see. Yeah, he's not. He's not exactly sure. He knows that the thing can see at night pretty well.
Okay. Does it ever eat garbage?
He does not know.
Okay.
Those teeth
Maybe
are pretty big. It probably
Right.
focuses on meat.
It probably just eats whatever it wants when it
Yeah,
wants.
their experience is that like there's two problems that they're having. One is it like eats villagers when it encounters them in the jungle, and two, it's eating like all of their prey species that normally feeds the village. So it's like wherever it is, it's just like mowing down hundreds of these things every week, and that makes it a lot harder for them to hunt.
Right. I have another idea that I only want to commit to if I can get your pledge, Thalen, that all of these villagers are going to die. I think it's possible. I could Misty Step. So I'm the bait. So let's dress me up as the villager. Okay. And I could like feign weakness, or I could look scary and have the spear and do the paint and whatever, the tribal dress and all the stuff. And I could look wounded. I could feign sickness, or and so then we keep the villagers safe. And at some point we feed them a dogma that they have to jump into the cliff. But then this thing breaks from the stand of trees to see me wounded with a spear, limping along, and then it chases after me, and then I Misty Step out of there. Nope, nope, nope. This thing over the cliff. How about that?
It sounds like the best idea we've had so far.
I think it's good because we don't
Rubil's
have to.
Rubil doesn't understand why we have to kill the villagers for this plan to work.
Because I'm going insane. Okay.
Yeah.
We are stranded on a jungle planet trying to hunt a dinosaur. What is happening in my life?
So I'm going to whisper to Rumil, once we feed him, I think we'll be able to reestablish reason and not kill everyone. But for the time being,
I am a god.
We have a plan that actually stands a chance of working. Now, how long does it take to Misty Step?
It's an action.
Okay. Well then, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get Tick Tick to look like an injured warrior. How are we gonna lure this thing to where Tick Tick is, or Tick Tick, are you just gonna wander through the jungle and try to find it yourself?
Well, I think we can track it easily enough because it's got feet the size of a small car. We can stand in its footprint.
Yep.
So I think we've set up that ambush in a stand of trees. We get all the warriors with their wooden spears. We antagonize the thing. We throw javelins at it. We get its attention. We all look the same. We all move the same, and so now we're not conflating its instincts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's just this straggler warrior over here that has another spear. You know what I mean? It's going to defend itself. It's going to make its rush. It's going to do its killing move. I nope out of there. And then
how are you gonna get it close to the cliff? Like it doesn't seem like it naturally goes in that direction.
Barbecue, maybe really fragrant. Take one of the livestock.
I mean, if it's smart enough to avoid the cliff, and then it's got like a gazillion villagers antagonizing it, and then one of them is showing weakness.
But how are you going to get it like within 50 or 100 feet of the cliff to do this? Like it's because I am imagining it's going to be like a half-mile run between finding the thing and the villagers throw spears at it, and then running to where the cliff is, and it's eating villagers that whole time.
Right. So if we're in the forest, our tactics can be to fall back and limit this thing's movement, use the trees as cover. I mean, there'll be a lot of collateral damage. It's probably going to wreck the forest, but whatever, that doesn't matter. Because I mean, we've got to like save the villagers or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? They can use the ground as cover and just fall back and fall back and fall back until we get to the clearing.
Got
You know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
all the tribes people can just over the cliff with the ropes or scatter or do whatever. I'm there like bleeding and smelly and whatever.
Got it.
Dressed
Yeah,
in blood.
I think that the tribes people, so they can dig like little hovels for themselves in the jungle floor, basically, that they can hop into as this thing is progressing, and like use that to fall back, and then they could be all gone by the time it gets towards the cliff and sees Tick Tick as the wounded
right.
soldier,
And then
goes
their
after
God
Tick
King
Tick.
will be there with the birds.
Yeah.
Claiming their providence, for their future generations. And then, it charges.
Yep.
I zip out of there.
And where are Thalen and Rumel while this is happening?
Taking all the credit, of course. I mean, Rumil is probably doing that already.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll probably be with the villagers.
Okay.
Because we can do.
Okay.
We both have pretty nasty ranged attacks, and
right. Okay, got it. So again, the vision is to injure this thing, to antagonize it, not necessarily to kill it, and then the killing is going to happen if it stumbles over the cliff. And is there a backup plan if it doesn't fall over the cliff?
Well, I think if we can keep Rumil and Thalen like on the ship or in someplace safe where the thing can't get them, the villagers will have already camouflaged themselves or have scattered when this thing breaks from the forest. I'm gonna just teleport out of there. You know what I mean?
Got it. Okay, yeah. So there won't be any, but yeah. So you won't have killed the thing if it doesn't work, but hopefully it won't be able to eat people.
Right. Oh, I mean, not very many people. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Okay, Thalen, any comments, thoughts?
So the long range of my my crossbow is 320 feet, and that's, I don't have to get a really great shot. I just have to hurt it, which with its size, I think I should be able to at least hit it and be annoying.
Yeah.
If it gets to the cliff and doesn't go over, then we can just worst case scenario engage there and potentially enrage it, because I'm guessing that the mouth isn't our only problem. That tail is probably a big problem too. And if it starts swinging that tail around, then it's going to have trouble keeping its feet, especially if it's on unsteady, just sort of edge to earth.
Yeah.
I wonder if Rumil's. So what kind of potentially can, like a scorching ray, would it have any kind of force to it?
Not like that'll help push it over. Yeah, he doesn't really have anything that would be effective for that. Although Ray of Sickness, let's see, what does this do? Poisoned until the end of your next turn. Okay, that's not very long lasting. But if Rumel could hit it with Ray of Sickness, like shortly before it's potentially going to go over, that might help. No, disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. This is going to be a dexterity saving throw for this thing, so that doesn't help you. All right, any other modifications to the plan?
Not that I can think of. Okay.
So we're gonna do this in a couple of ways. First, we're gonna do an extended skill challenge. What this means is that you have to use a skill that you're proficient in and explain a way that you are using this skill to help facilitate the plan to be successful. Let's roll initiative first.
15.
And then you can't use the same skill as somebody else. So if somebody uses Arcana, you can't also then use Arcana.
I think I'll use either stealth or survival or acrobatics. Those
Awesome.
are my best skills.
All right, let's start with Thalen.
All right. We're going to start with insight to determine the best starting place for this encounter.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll it.
All right. That's a 17.
17. That is a success. Tick. What skill are you going to use?
I think maybe we found the location that we think is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe acrobatics.
Okay.
I can practice the move of actually jumping off the cliff.
Awesome. Yep.
Maybe put a little spice on that.
Yeah, a little spin.
Yeah. And that's a 20.
20. Nice. Okay, Rumil's going to use his deception to help the villagers and Tick sell this to this not very bright creature. He's got a +5. He rolled a 4, so he got a 9. So that's your first failure. Back to the top, Thalen.
All right, so I am going to use athletics to dart in and out of trees, Rambo style, and take little just annoyance pot shots with my crossbow, and be constantly on the move, so it's always looking for stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, and nat 20.
Wow. So total of
23.
23. Awesome. Okay. You guys, 3 successes, 1 fail. Tick.
I'm going to use some stealth to help the villagers, I guess. Like set up their hidey holes and practice and use their tactics. Show them how to use their tactics to use the trees and the cover or whatever to avoid danger.
Excellent.
I guess I am their god.
Right. Yeah.
That's a 10.
10. Okay, that's not going to succeed. So you have 3 successes, 2 failures.
3 plus
it's
7.
all down to Rumil.
Oh no!
Perfect.
He is going to use performance to try to sell this whole thing to this creature. He kind of shows a couple of little dance steps that the villagers can use that he thinks will help.
He's right.
He's got a +5. He rolled an 18 for a 23. Okay. So you guys pull off the first half of the plan. It goes without a hitch. You guys enrage this monster, fall back successive waves. The villagers, when they're about to get eaten, they find a hidey hole to hide under. Tick saying hey, this is how you're stealthy. Dale, and you're kind of darting between trees to distract the thing. You fall back further, progressively towards the cliff, where Tick, you are there as a bait, and it goes for you.
I have my spear.
and
spear.
it's going, and it goes for you, and you're going to like run towards the edge of the cliff and then misty step away. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna zigzag, wounded mule deer
Yeah.
my way to the cliff, and then over the cliff,
Okay.
and then flip, keeping my eyes peeled for my target because I have to be able to see my location.
Awesome.
And then zoop.
All right. Give me a let's see. Why don't you do acrobatics for this?
Yeah. That's how we practiced.
Right.
This is gonna be great. It's not gonna be great. It's not great. It's 14.
14. Okay, that sets its DC for its dexterity saving throw. It has a +0. So it needs a 13 or less to go over the cliff.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
I hate this.
It makes it scrambles. One of its claws goes off the edge, but it gets purchased with the other one, and it eventually corners and starts running after you again. Tick tick.
Okay, I did teleport away.
Yeah, well, you teleported at 30 feet.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they would have to find me. I think I get an action maybe to stealth.
oh, okay, got it.
something.
Yeah.
Or
So if you
something,
want to
right?
hide in the
Maybe?
trees, yeah, no, that sounds
Yeah.
great. Go ahead
I'm
and
not,
give me
I'm
a
not
stealth
banging a
check.
drum here.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's high double digits. 26.
Ooh, nice. Okay, Tick Tick, you successfully hide. Thalen, are you going to take any steps to facilitate your plan at this point?
All right. Let's see what I can do.
Become their god, Thalen.
I am going to take. I'm going to take fighting spirit. Give myself advantage on this, and I'm going to draw like an eyeball bead with my crossbow.
Okay.
And just try something wildly disorienting. Okay, that's 21.
What's your goal with this?
My goal is to obscure the vision in such a way to cause it to start thrashing around.
Got it. Okay, so roll with disadvantage, so just flat.
Okay, then 21.
Oh, you just rolled the one
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far.
Okay. 21's a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. That is 8.
8. Okay. We'll call this a wisdom saving throw. It has a +1 with a DC of 8. So it needs a 7 or higher. And it makes it. So you shoot this arrow off, hit, kind of scrape near its eye ridge, kind of briefly blinks and kind of turns in disorientation, but it's still with it enough to not stumble off the cliff. It takes a few steps away. So do you guys want to continue to pursue this plan, or do you want to bag it and reassess later? Because right now, like, Tick Tick's hidden somewhere. Rumil, you don't even know where Rumil is, to be honest. Rumil's somewhere. Thalen, you're like, hiding behind a tree, just sniping this thing. So the question is, do you want to throw down with this now, or do you want to try plan again?
Yeah, let's not throw down with the dinosaur. Let's avoid that option. That's my vote.
All right.
I failed my morale check. Do you want to maybe just sacrifice every villager here and then keep it a dark secret that we never share with anyone ever?
Yeah, I don't think Thalen's going to be able to make that work with his ethics. Let's see.
Just go native. Just try the grass skirt,
All right, the dinosaur stomps off back into the jungle, venting its rage on the surrounds. Okay, Tick Tick, go ahead and give me a 1d6, please.
Oh, this isn't good. 4. Average.
4
Awesome.
of your 12 warriors were killed in that endeavor. There are 8 more that are alive. Their faith is shaken a little bit, but they're still game to help because this thing is presenting some massive trouble for them.
Yeah. So yeah, there was some collateral damage, but maybe since we've been here, there's been less. How would there's no way to explain basic rational principles to these people. Okay. I'm really liking this going native idea. This is just so good. You know what I mean?
You guys,
right.
you still have the bait. You still have the bait plan, right? Weren't you gonna?
Yeah.
Weren't you thinking about dangling some bait off the ship or something?
Yeah, that was me though.
Well, it
that
doesn't
didn't
have to
work.
be you. It could be like one of these big flightless bird things that live in the jungle that this thing eats.
All right. So we hunt one of these things. Wait a second. How many are there?
I mean, fewer than there were before this thing moved in.
Yeah.
But the villagers could probably grab you one if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, what about this? The flightless bird things. What if we get all those? And we just take this thing's food supply. It's going to go where these noisy flightless.
Well, then it's gonna probably start eating the villagers.
Oh right, and we want to avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep brushing up on these points here.
Right.
I keep forgetting. Yeah, let's do the bird thing. What do you think, Thalen? Do you want to strap a flightless bird to our marvel of technology?
I think I can buzz just well enough. So when we were in direct combat with it, did we get a sense of just how tall the thing is?
Yeah, it's huge. So it's like 12 feet tall.
Okay, so if I were, say, 15 feet off of the ground,
Mm-hmm.
could I cruise at 15 feet off of the ground? Do I have the capability to accomplish? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we leave some slack on the aft of the ship and just have it dangling, then we can let it chase and chase and chase, and then we have our cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we gut our bird first, so it's smelly insides are incensing the dinosaur.
And then do you guys want to, so having seen its ability to react and minimize its risk of falling off the cliff, is there anything that you guys want to do to facilitate it not being able to make that turn successfully?
Yeah.
Maybe instead of going straight off of the cliff, so is the cliff kind of peninsular?
It's kind of like a 90-degree angle from
so
the forest.
if
What
I
about
make
a pit?
Yeah. So if we got the ship flying with the bait off the aft, and then we try to lure this thing along the cliff side, so it thinks it's safe. You know what I mean? And it's chomping at the bit, and then into the pit to make its DC harder.
Okay. So
okay.
We need to prepare the pit?
Yeah, that's something you and the villagers could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would hit this depression, and that would cause it to stumble and fall.
Yeah.
Is what you're hoping.
I think,
okay.
Because we got to do something to make the DC harder, because only one of us is rolling 19s in this group, and it's not me or Thalen. So, yeah, let's try that, and maybe we can kill some more villagers. Which,
well, this plan I don't think involves the villagers being there, so they're pretty safe.
Yeah.
So
And
they
that's
get you one
important.
of these birds. You guys hop on your ship. Tie the bird to the aft. Rumil's kind of on the top deck, spotting. You guys gut the bird near where you see this giant lizard thing and lead it towards the cliff. Let's see. What skill do you think is okay? So actually, Thalen, I'm going to need to. If you're piloting, go ahead and
Yeah.
give me dexterity check.
All right, that's going to be 16.
Okay, great. And then Tick Tick, why don't you give me a survival check?
Cool. Fuck. 11.
16, 11, and then Rumil is going to use his deception to try to sell this to this thing. That's a 13. Okay, so not terrible, not terrible. So you guys have an average roll of 13. So this thing's going to make 2 dexterity saving throws. One is as the ship is originally cornering to see if it just pitches right off, and then the second is going to be when it hits that pit. So it needs a 12 or less to pitch off the side of the cliff.
Come on.
On the first go,
Oh,
you guys. So you Thalen, you pivot the ship. And this thing is chasing after this flightless bird. It hits the edge and bam, 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 tumbles off the side of the cliff. This monstrous roar as you see its body crash against the rocks hundreds of feet below. And you have destroyed the monster of this elven tribe.
all right.
I think we should stay.
Let's land and take a trophy.
Yep.
We need.
Yeah. The villagers. You show them the body of the thing. They're overjoyed. They're ecstatic. They load you up with food. They have some jerky that'll keep for a long time. They load you up with water. They've got some like leather sacks that will help keep the water. So you guys are thoroughly well provisioned. Rumil is going to make a Constitution saving throw.
We should stay.
On a nat 20, Rumil is A-okay. He's going to leave some little half godlings at the tribe here. Yeah, so you guys are successfully provisioned. Anything you want to do before you take off?
No, I think we better get while the getting's good.
Yeah, we should.
Because the longer we stay, the less the chance that we're going to successfully bring Rumel with us.
Okay, you guys take off and get back on track. You've got plenty of food now. You've got replenished your air. You've got water. You've got everything that you need to make the journey there and back.
And the friends we made along the way.
Oh, yes.
And some friends. You orient on your target and fly off into spell jamming speeds. That's pretty effective. Eventually.
Oh yeah. Those high rolls on the skill checks at the end of the first, that was a real bummer.
Yeah.
Because those weren't bare misses. That was annihilation of that plan.
Yeah. Yeah, it all hinged on one roll, which is tough.
I think Rumil might have been right.
To just go native?
Yeah. Just Heart of Darkness. You know what I mean? Just
okay, you guys going to do anything? It's another, let's see, you've been traveling for about 4 days, so it's another about 10 days to your destination at spell jamming speeds. Are you guys going to do anything in particular in that time?
I guess I want to just stay clear of Rumil because he might be infectious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the villagers also gave you each a little feather token. to wear. Rumil tells you that it has some kind of magical properties.
Feather
right.
token, huh?
So I will add it to the epaulet of my uniform, and so basically have it as sort of pinned with the rest of it, so it stays.
Nice.
How do I feel?
You feel fine, and eventually Rumil is able to share that he thinks that if you eat this little flower bouquet, that it will provide some healing energy.
Okay.
So you can put
Right, cool.
healing flower bouquet.
I will spend any non-piloting time poring over what we were able to take away from the starport, and so see if I can glean any extra information, particularly from the little cubo information.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Thalen.
forgot-
So
I
in
forgot
addition
about
to what you've gotten already, you get some information that that this kind of ambassadorial voyage is that they're meeting with someone that is extremely old, and of course elves live forever. So for an elf to say that must be quite remarkable. So
Yeah.
you get the impression that if you didn't know any better, it sounds like some kind of godlike being that was there at the beginning of time is basically the impression that you get from what they were going to go talk to.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I think this is above my pay grade.
You guys are zipping along about 4 days in. The ship comes out of spelljamming speeds abruptly. Thalen, you're on piloting duty, and the sensors have picked up something. It's like a small little asteroid that's basically in your path.
All right. What does it look like?
Give me a perception check, please.
Natural 20 for 23.
Oh my God. Yeah, you kind of look through the front viewports. You see this ball that's it looks kind of shiny, and it is in fact more or less spherical. But it's the surface of it is not smooth. Like the surface of it is a little bit jumbled and cluttered. And as it starts to get closer, you see that it's a conglomeration of a bunch of little spider-like creatures.
Oh.
Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
17.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So you as you realize this, you're like shit, and dive the ship to try to go around it. Nonetheless, you hear some bang, bang. Tick Tick, you and Rumil also hear this. The ship has hit something. And then immediately thereafter, Thalen, you start to hear some like clittering sounds on the surface of the ship.
All right.
Roll initiative.
Yeah, we've got to deal with that fast.
Oh, look at that. 21.
Hey.
Real quick,
Yes.
maybe a primer on how to fight von Neumann spiders.
Hit them until they stop moving.
Like on the outside of the ship.
Yeah. So let me set this up a little bit more. Okay. So your eel ship has it's about 100-foot long vessel. It has 2 levels. The top deck runs about 80 feet on the top, and you can just stand up there. You're in the air bubble, so you can just be up there, no problem. The gravity plane is basically the bottom of the ship, so you're fine on the top deck. If you go off the sides of the top deck, you do risk slipping off the ship, and if the ship is moving, you get kind of left behind. The main level has a hallway running most of the length of it. In the front is the bridge. In the back is the cargo area. There's a stairwell up from the cargo area to the top deck. So Tick Tick and Rumil kind of run out of their rooms as they hear this bamming sound. Thalen, Are you going to continue to have the ship go forward? Or are you going to disengage from the helm?
I am going to go forward enough to isolate from the asteroid of Clockwork Horrors.
Okay, got
So
it.
I want to make sure the ones that are on the ship are the
Are
only
all the
ones we're
okay,
dealing with.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, Tick Tick, you run out of your room. You heard this banging sound. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Is everything okay? What?
And I scream battle stations while
What
I'm
does that mean?
piloting. And get ready to fight.
Right. What are we fighting?
You'll see.
Brilliant. Okay. Yes. Of course.
Okay, so yeah, Tick Tick, you're just like waiting for whatever the of course is.
Yeah.
Okay, bad guys.
Perhaps.
So, Thalen, where you are. There's a hole that gets ripped in the side of the hull on the bridge, and two creatures skitter in
Oh, that's bad.
that look something like this. They've got these 8 mechanical legs, this little clockwork hat, and these little pincer things. They're not very big. They're like 2 feet, 2 feet big each. But these two creatures get onto the bridge. Tick Tick, you hear some skittering sounds, and 2 of those same creatures have come down the stairs and are in the hallway facing you. And
Okay.
Rumil is kind of between the 2 of you. So that's bad guys. They just did a move action. Rumil sees these things. He's going to blast them. Why not?
I like it.
Yeah. It's got a +5. 2 is not going to do it. He aims a scorching ray at one of them, and it hits the ship's side and burns a bit of a hole in the ship. Thalen.
All right.
This is your action to move. I wanted to establish what you were doing in that immediate time. So this is your action to actually move the ship.
Yes.
Okay.
Would one action get the job done, or will
that's your action? If you want to take movement, you can.
Would the one action be sufficient to steer enough away from the big group of clock? Okay, so then I am going to take my move action to close and take action surge.
Okay.
To take stab and slash.
Okay, great. So attacking one of these things that's on the bridge with you?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, so the attack with the rapier is a 16.
That's going to hit.
All right. So that is 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And then with the and 16 with the scimitar.
That's also a hit.
All right. And so that is another 6 points of damage.
Okay, you hack this thing, whack, whack, rapier, scimitar. You kind of shatter that little light bulb looking thing, and the creature kind of flickers and it goes still.
All right.
Okay, back to the top. Tick Tick. So there's two of these spider things in the hallway with you. Only one of them can get at you at a time, though.
Okay, well, the first one is going to get stomped.
Okay.
For a 20.
Hits.
Okay, great. And then 2 other hits.
Nice.
So that's 3d4 plus 15.
Wow.
Jeez.
And that's 25.
Yeah, this first creature, you just wham it with your fists, just carving in its metal. It doesn't seem like these things are very hardy. You're hitting it. It's almost like, tinfoil. It's just folding under your fists. that creature
Cool.
twitches and stops moving.
Wonderful. Then I'll prepare for the next
Okay,
one. Yeah.
bad guys. So the one on the bridge is going to attack you, Thalen. That's a 17. That's going to hit, and it does 2 points of damage. So it gets its little pincers around you and starts gnawing on you. It doesn't seem like these things are really well designed to hurt you, though. Did you do your like samurai thing? Do you have your temporary hit points or not yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, so 2 points of damage to Thalen. Also, Thalen, 2 more of these creatures move onto the bridge from the hole that was made. Tick, tick. The one in front of you closes distance and attacks and hits for 2 points of damage. Again, just doesn't seem to do that much damage.
Yeah.
You see one more of these creatures, Tick Tick, come down the hallway towards you, and then you see a different one come
So 3 total?
behind that looks a little bit like this. It looks almost a little bit smaller in some ways, but these 3 ports on the front seem like they are some kind of cannon type device.
I'll.
Okay,
Right.
that's bad guys. Rumil, Rumel's going to Scorching Ray again. Why not? He's going to Scorching Ray that new one that just came down. Jesus, another 5. Yep, that just totally misses. He's out of 2nd level spell slots. Great. Okay, next is Thalen.
All right. So the two that have just come in, have they closed to melee, or do I still have
there? Yeah, you've got 3 of these things around you now.
Okay, so I am going to disengage.
Okay.
And
you could move into the hallway if you want,
Yes.
and then potentially just get one of them at a
yeah,
time.
that's what I want to do. I want to create
Okay.
a
bottleneck.
where their numbers will count for nothing.
Right. Okay, you've got Rumil basically at your back
Okay.
now.
Yeah, that's where I want to be.
Okay, awesome. Back to the top, Tick Tick.
Cool. I have 2 of them on me.
There are 3 total. There's 2 of the kind of smaller ones, and then there's the one behind it that looks like it's getting ready to throw something at you.
Well, let's hope it doesn't have precise shot. How about that? So I'm going to spread this around, I guess, as I
Okay.
need to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my last. The last one was a 15. Does that hit?
That hits.
Okay, so that's going to be another 3d4 plus 15.
Okay.
Um,
And are you gonna smash the one and then go on to the next one behind it, or?
right. Yeah.
Okay. So once you roll damage, one attack at a time.
Yeah. It breaks it out.
Oh, I
so
see.
7. That's 7,
Okay.
and then 6,
It's dead. First one.
and then so the last attack it's 9 points.
9. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so again, you smash one of these things, walk over its twitching mechanical body, hit the next one, definitely damaging it. Okay, Thalen, only one of these things is going to attack you. That's a miss. Tick Tick, the one that's in front of you is going to attack. That is a miss. Oh, you got a good armor class. And then the one behind that, the different looking one, the 3 kind of cannon-like things activate, and these 3 darts hurl at you. That's a miss.
I'm in melee.
Yeah, there's no, in 5e, there's no melee deficiency thing.
I hate this.
Attacks.
5e's awful.
One of them hit for 5 points of damage.
Well, I'm going to deflect it.
Oh,
This is scary as shit.
nice. I forgot about that. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, let's not hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would deflect. Oh wow, up to 18 points of damage.
Holy crap! All right, yeah, it's shooting at the wrong guy. You knock the dart away. It goes thunking into the wood. Okay, next is Rumil. Rumil's going to magic missile that big scary one, because why not?
With the cannons?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. Right there.
9 points of damage to this thing. These darts slam into it. It looks somewhat injured, but still doing okay. Thalen.
All right, so the one in melee with me, I'm going to do my double attack.
Okay.
And so first is 14 with the
That
rapier.
hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then 19 with the scimitar.
Definitely hits.
And that's another 6.
Yeah, you stab this thing twice through. It is crushed and destroyed.
All right.
Back to the top. Tick.
Cool. I'm gonna attack the one that's in front of me, I guess. Get him out of the way. 13.
13 hits.
Cool. I'll take it. Another 7 points.
Crushed. Dead.
And then I will move to engage the larger one.
Okay, great. Yeah, so roll to hit.
I did. That's it. I just have the one attack that turn.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, got it.
You can't attack and move and attack.
Oh no, you totally can in 5e.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can I close with the cannon one?
Yes,
Oh.
it's right there.
Oh, right on. Well,
Yeah. But if you don't like 5e rules, we can avoid that one for this.
okay. As a 25 and a 22.
Yeah, both hits.
So that's 7 and 8.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you rush up, smash this thing. You're bending pieces of it. It's definitely taking damage, but it's not as flimsy as the other ones.
Cool.
Okay, bad guys go. So this one in front of you is not going to activate its darts, having seen the lack of effect for that. Instead, it has this little stick that has this electrical like zzz charge that it tries jabbing you with.
That's bad.
But on a 1 is not going to hit you.
Nope, but it did miss, and I've already hit it, so I get a free shot on it.
Oh yeah,
because it has been analyzed.
Right.
For 13.
Totally destroyed.
Boom. That's 6 points minimum. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it tries to zap you, and you're like, nope, and just backhand it, crushing the thing to pieces. Thalen, the one on you, or one of the bridge one moves in, hits.
Okay.
For 4 points of damage.
Okay.
So there's only 2 of these things on the bridge right now. Rumil is going to magic missile one of them. So that's 10 points of damage to one of them. Heavily injured. Thalen.
All right. So the one in melee with me is still in. Okay.
So it's fairly heavily injured though.
I am going to activate Fighting Spirit.
Okay.
And so it gives me advantage. Oh, and a crit fail. So let's see what the second roll is. an 18.
Hey, that's better. Yeah, this thing is destroyed just with your minimum damage.
All right.
You could move up to the next one if you want and attack that with your other weapon.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Great.
Move up to the next one, and
is it an action to do your thing that you just did?
It's a bonus action for that second attack, and so it looks.
So do you still get 2 weapons?
Not the second. So I've used the one, and so I can still take a slash, and I still have advantage on it. Well, it hardly matters. The first roll is a 24.
Oh wow!
So let's see if it crits. No, the second is a 2. So yeah. So all right. Let's see. 1d6 plus 3, 7.
7 points of damage. All right. You chop into this thing, hurting it badly. Back to the top. Tick. There's no other spiders on your side. You could move onto the bridge if you want and take a punch at this thing that Thalen's fighting.
Yeah, I can see from where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge over there and then jump, axe kick,
Hey,
full flavor on the flank.
Excellent.
So that's that's a 22 plus other flanking.
Okay.
6 points, 7 points.
It is also destroyed.
jumping
Um,
axe kick, very
You
1986
just
of you.
chop the thing in half. Yeah, so these things are all dead. You don't hear any more clicking sounds on the hull. It seems like, Thalen, you were able to avoid the bulk of them with that emergency evasion move that you took right there at the last second. So yeah, you've never seen these things before, but you think these are what the Clockwork Horrors in the Swarm are.
All right. How bad's that that hole in the hull?
It's not bad at all. It has not compromised the integrity of the ship.
So it's is it something that we could patch up?
Yeah,
Without
yeah.
too
You
much-
guys have another 6 days or so to the target, so you can do some repairs. You got the
Okay.
shelves in the closet you can use.
So is there anything of value to be salvaged from these Clockwork Horrors?
Is there anything of value? I mean, yeah, they're like made out of metal and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'm considering pitching them. But if they look fairly valuable, do I have like a crate that I can put them in? 'Cause
Yeah,
if I-
well, there's the whole cargo area. You can just dump them in
yeah,
the cargo
yeah.
area.
Let's dump them in the cargo area.
Give me either an insight or intelligence, Thalen.
Okay. 10 even.
10 even.
Perfect.
Yeah, you don't know who would buy these things, but
Yeah.
I mean they're metal, so there's some valuable pieces, you think.
Well, what I'm thinking is that they could be evidence of an issue if needed to convince somebody of imminent Clockwork Horror attack.
Cool.
We have empty water sacks. We could stuff them in there.
Yeah. There are people. A few people are injured, but you're able to get back to spell jamming speeds, and everybody can rest up.
Okay. Cool.
I was thinking if another encounter was imminent, it might be a good idea to avoid a short rest.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you guys get back to spell jamming speeds and get towards your destination. You don't encounter any other obstacles. It seems like there is nothing out here, which makes sense from what you know, Thalen,
Yeah.
because it's just been consumed to make more of these things. You come out of spell jamming speeds at your destination, therefore a little bit in surprise that there is something out here. And sure enough, there is like a small planet that looks like it has water on it. You see some green that suggests that there's some plant life there. It looks kind of actually very nice. There's actually a little fire body, a small star not very far away that's providing some sunlight on this little small planet. It is, however, surrounded by these tiny clockwork spiders. They look like they are in space, and it looks like they're being kept from the planet somehow. It looks like must be some kind of protective sphere or something around the planet, because you see all these tiny little spiders. They're not crawling on anything. They're just kind of like spitting through space. But there's uncounted millions of these things surrounding the planet. They're not surrounding it 100%. There are some holes that you could guide the ship through and minimize the risk of hitting any of these things.
So there's like accretion discs.
Yeah, right.
It's like a Kessler syndrome of von Neumann spiders.
Before we start trying to guide through the hole, let's hail the planet and see if we get any kind of electronic communication.
Interesting. You hail the planet. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
All right, let's see. Persuasion. That's 15.
Okay. You hail the planet. You wait for a little bit of time, and then all of you hear a voice in your mind
Ooh.
that says, "Welcome back, elves. Please land at the usual site."
Ah. Okay.
What have you done?
At the usual site. Well, let's in
Everything's
for a
fine.
penny, in for a pound. Let's
Yeah.
let's slip through the non-clockwork horror opening.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check. Getting the
Okay.
ship here.
All right. 21.
Okay, great. Just don't roll a 5. Okay, yeah, it's a planet, so there are pretty big gaps in this coverage. But as you pass through, you kind of see, yeah, there are these horrors just kind of spinning around, like they're clearly trying to get on the planet, and something is preventing them from getting there. As you pull into the planet's atmosphere, Thalen, your air bubble refreshes. You all take a nice deep breath. It smells good. It actually smells rejuvenating. Yeah, you feel like energized. You feel stronger, tougher. Yeah. And you, Thalen, see that there is a beacon that you now detect.
All right. So head towards the beacon and be aware of, or keep aware of any obvious landing place.
Awesome. Okay, you guys head towards the beacon, and I think we'll call it there.
Cool.